Alright, let's try and make this a super quick update. You can see how big these fish have gotten since the last update, and it's, well, I mean, there's some that are 5 inches, 6 inches long now. A week ago, we had a huge burst storm come through, and once again flooded everything in these beds out right when we were starting to get back to a nice level of nitrates. We were flooded and flushed, and not only that, the rain causes the pH to go up, and so just sticking with 3 times a day feeding on these fish. Nitrate's coming back up. You can see Japanese eggplant. I love this plant. It goes absolutely crazy. Michael, leave the kitty alone. Tomato plants cranking. They're putting out lots of flowers, and we're definitely getting, you know, tomatoes like we should be. Now again, remember from the last update, I moved a lot of stuff out. The bed was just hit too hard, and then throwing the second bed into the system didn't help matters much. But now we're getting that all balanced out and getting just great growth again. I mean, this is coming out from the grow bed, you know, 3.5, 4 feet in these arms, and can't really tie them up. They're strong. They'll hold a eggplant hanging off of it, but they're also really almost succulent brittle. So if you mishandle them too much, they just snap. But this plant does so well, and it produces so much. I suggest everybody to get a Japanese eggplant going into the system. I mean, look at how far over this thing is coming now from where it originally was. So still have I kept the one Armenian cucumber vine. I clipped it off and took out a ton of stuff, and it just threw off a couple more arms that are, you know, going crazy up here. This bed is finally starting to grasp and build up a base. And I think what is going on with this bed, it's my theory, of course, is when I did this rock, what I did different than the rock in that bed was sifted this and got all of the sand and particles out of it. So it was really clean rock. And I think what that might have done is, given, since it's still changing, it might have made it so there was less material, fine material for the the nutrients and bacteria to start latching on. So it's taking a little bit longer for this bed to develop than that one, because I didn't sift that rock. That rock has a lot more sand and junk in it, where this is just clean rock. But that being said, this is actually starting to take off now, and you can see we're starting to get some flowers down there. So keep your fingers crossed that we're starting to get a balance in the whole system, and this grow bed will take off. I got to remove all this area just to give it a shot at some sun, but I mean, it's really hard to remove all this stuff when it's throwing tomatoes out left and right. I mean, there's tomatoes everywhere on it now. And this vine is just creeping. It's got vines mixing in back here now, and so we'll see how the system handles this last batch of rain. And what I've been doing also is the fish inside in my 55 are being fed the same food that I'm feeding these tilapia out here. So the water inside is essentially the same as it would be produced out here. So when I do water changes from of my tank inside, I am taking that water and putting it into this system. So I'm hoping that I'm not going to get as much of a a dip in nitrate as previous rainstorms have done. So maybe that's the tip for this update, is always have a secondary system, maybe just for indoor breeding or whatnot, that you have on the same type of food and similar species of fish, even to help feed your grow beds outside. The plants out here will eat that nitrate up that the tank inside is just building up. You know, these types of filtration systems are actually nitrate factories. You know, they work really well, but if you were using this type of grow bed for just a filtration system indoors, it would build up so much nitrate that you'd really be having to do a lot of water changes all the time. I kind of call them nitrate factories. But yeah, I can bring water from outside or inside out here and help keep that all going. So next month will be 2 years that this system has been running. And I'm probably going to start doing updates on a basis of if something interesting is going on, so that I'm not boring the hell out of everybody with a consistent monthly update. And I'm going to start posting videos of, what I'm doing inside with my DIY tanks and the type of fish that are going on in there. And then once I start over in this section, this will be the next phase of the evolution of this whole area, is cleaning out this area right here. And I'm going to put a 275 gallon IBC tote with a bar surrounding it so that you can sit and look at the fish as we grow them out. But then this entire section right here is going to get grow beds and filtration behind it, and we'll start the next phase. You can see the damage that this storm caused. It blew down and broke out a whole panel here. It's pretty crazy. But anyways, thanks to everybody that has stuck around and everybody that continues to subscribe. I enjoy making these videos, and I enjoy talking about them, and I hope at some point in time somebody has learned from my mistakes and learned from my successes and have attempted to apply this to their own system. And as always, if you have any questions, just hit me up. Thanks for watching. Micah, say hi, mamas. The pretties.